So I'm on the phone with the IRS, and it kept me on delay for like 1 hour. I was just going to ask them that I filed a tax refund for 2021, and I wanted to know the status of when they're going to pay me the money back. And it kept me on wait for like 1 hour. It kept telling me to hold on. I would say it's going to jump right back at me, jump right back at me. Take notice of that lingo, because the people have been jumping me, also punching me, and telling me I'm going to deport it soon. So this is the IRS agents using that language. I called them, last year also December 31st. They told me their computer's out of service, and tell me to call back by January 2nd or 3rd. So I called back today, and it kept me on hold for like 1 hour. So it was telling me it was going to jump right back at me. And then he told me they sent me for verification. I'm like, why would you send me for verification? I've always filed my taxes till like 2010, and my mother used to claim as a dependent. So it seems like they're just trying to stall me so I don't get that refund check, the stimulus check. So said they sent me a notice in the mail, and so I used the address called Gold Locker. Gold Locker is the Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, said anybody that's having trouble receiving mail should use that address, Gold Locker. So take notice of that word, Gold Locker. So what they do is anything that's sent to that address, 141 Flushing Avenue, I won't get it. They won't email me back. They won't send me an email to tell me to come pick up my mail. So it seems they just want to drive me crazy, because my mother's daughters, Bolani and Flora, feigned mental illness on my mother and got her locked up in the hospital, Bellevue, while she was having a heart attack. And my mother said the daughters were trying to get my mother angry so the hospital could perceive her as a depressed homeless woman. So this Eric Adams said he's going to be locking up homeless also, like my mother that was killed. I said his new name is Esther. So they're like torturing me, you know. So they won't give me my tax refund. It's called the stimulus check. They owe me like $3,000 for 2020 and 2021. I filed for it in the mail since September, and I never got a response from them. I put in my banking information, and they said that stuff is just automatic. They're just supposed to give it to you, especially when you have a bank account and stuff. So I've been trying to get information since like last year on why they haven't responded. Then they finally picked up the phone like December 31st, 2024, and told me they can't do nothing. I should call back this year. So I called back today, and the guy kept me on the hold for like 1 hour, and kept telling me he's going to come back to me. And now he told me, I have to, and then he told me, what's my new address? I said, I have a new address now. And he pretended like he was going to update the address. He told me to wait, and he came back and said, no, I can't update your address. You have to go into our service center with 2 ID. So when the NYPD locked me up in the psych ward, they stole all my ID, so I don't have an ID. So they're using that to store me, even though, you can file your tax return online and give them your banking information, and they just deposit the money in your banking in your bank account. You don't need an ID. So it's like their law enforcement is playing a game. Since the NYPD took my home, I took them to court, and Eric Garner was supposed to help me with the court papers. They choked him dead. So I'm the only living witness that know what they did to Eric Garner, and they won't let me testify in court. And it's like they just want to drive me crazy to make me suicidal. So they make sure I don't get no money, all my tax refund, everything, even the $100 vaccination money I'm supposed to get for getting vaccinated. Under this Ricardo, they told me that money has been canceled, because they told me that money was deposited in a bank account, and I thought it was in a bank account, and I tried to retrieve it, activate the bank account through my email. They told me that money has been canceled, that I didn't activate it fast enough. I was like, they told me once I got vaccinated, New York City has deposited the money in my bank account. So I never knew there was a time limit to activate my bank account. So they're just making sure I don't get no money as an African. So the word is to investigate this, whereby they turned the IRS into a Guantanamo torture. So I was telling him, can I speak with the supervisor? And he hung up on me. He kept me on hold for like 1 hour. He told me the best bet for me. He said he can't really do anything. I have to go to their office with 2 IDs. I'm like, I don't even have an ID. I said, can I speak with your supervisor? I was like, wow. I told him, what if I'm outside the country? Does that mean, I have to travel back to America to get file for my tax refund to get it, and he hung up on me. So I'm going to call them back, because it's like a torture program, and some of these superstars that don't pay their taxes and says because the U.S. government tortures blacks and stuff, and they'll arrest them, put them in prison, say that's not a good defense. And now it's true that they're torturing people with their government agents. My friend Ghana was choked by the police when he was about to help me with my court papers. They went and choked him dead within days after I gave him the court